All right, and you're live. Oh, dude. Ah, you have been muted this entire time. That is my bad. I was wondering. Give me 1 second to fix that. I was like, man, I can't hear you in the stream. That's really weird. I was like, I must have it muted.
Oh, is it Joe Nick?
Is
Is
it?
the
Is it what?
is the guy that's been going off in general for lower division?
I don't know.
Joe Nick?
They can hear me. They just can't hear you.
Uh,
Now they can hear you.
there we go. We'll just do the whole introduction again.
Yup.
Coming at you guys for week 8 or episode 8, not week 8 anymore. Podcast. And this is a big one. We got a couple playoff games finalized, going into semifinals. And then the big one, we got the All Pro, all the players, moderators, team captains. Votes have been locked in. So we got All Pro, first and second team for upper division, followed by our regular season MVP.
Nope. Not
I'm
today. MVP not
not
today.
today.
All the
Not
votes aren't
you're
in
gonna
for
take
that.
that away from me? You're gonna
No.
take that away from me?
Mhm. Like last season, we did that for we announced that before the finals.
But what if the MVP is in the finals?
Then it can be in the finals. It's a regular season MVP.
Mm, it's fine. It makes me really hyped for all the exciting things we have cooking up for finals. I'm just upset that you're taking that fun away from me today.
Well, it all can't be in one episode. We have to spread the love around. Got to keep
Spread
them
the
coming
love
back.
around. Yeah, if you're not able to join on Monday at 4:30 p.m., I guess you can join us at finals. The biggest hype matchup of the year. Um, So all that said, we'll hop right into today's discussion. Brendan, do you want to show us the bracket so far for upper division?
Yep.
What's been going on with playoffs? Um,
Yeah, this is.
Start off. Good.
I was gonna say this is the updated bracket. Might be able to awkward zoom ratios. Go ahead.
125. That's good enough. That's good enough. I mean, we started off with the rerun of the last regular season game two, Infernal Wolf Esports versus Goon Squad White. Started off with a banger, going all the way to 5 games. Uh, did you get the chance to watch that one, Brendan?
Casted that one.
You casted it. Tell me about it. What happened?
Out of the gate, if I recall correctly, Infernal Wolves came out, won the first game. And then Goon Squad White won the next 2 games. Kind of the difference in the 2 games that Goon Squad White won out of the 5 game series was Embody role swapping. Typically in the top lane, played ADC for Goon Squad White in game 2 and 3, and it actually might have been 3 and 4 if I recall correctly. But played Ezreal, went nuts on Ezreal in the bot lane, carried those 2 games for them. Embody did. Um, as well as other members for sure. And then in the last game, game 5, Embody was not in the game. I don't know if it was a time constraint or not, but was subbed out, and Infernal Wolves ended up winning that game. Every single game, even the games Infernal Wolf lost, top was insane.
I
Juka
know.
built incredible leads every single game, even in the games that they lost. So it seemed like kind of the storyline of the series was Infernal Wolves figuring out slowly how to translate that top gap into a 1 series. So it took them a little bit of time, but once they figured that out, they kind of ran away with the series after that.
Yeah, Juka is Aatrox was something to be fearful of, but another one, Sinja got the Nico pick, popped off on it, just completely ran away with I think it was game 2 or 3. Um, and so Infernal Wolf kind of got the blood on their hands after the regular season ended. Kind of so I don't know, aggressively between those two teams. Infernal Wolf is the one who closed the gap. So they'll be playing tonight against Misery. I forget the time. Do you know the time?
7:30
Seven
Eastern.
thirty.
Hmm.
So tonight, 7:30 Eastern. Tune in. We have our last quarter final game.
Semifinal.
Uh,
Semifinal.
Semifinal. Okay,
Okay.
semifinal. Um, in the brackets that Infernal Wolf will be playing against Misery. Misery, of course, being our number one seed, hasn't played for us in about 2 weeks, but they were scary. During the regular season. Trying to remember. Kush was it's Kush and 23 Cruel are the big players to watch out for on that team. Um, on the other side of the bracket, TSI Tom Kinch Lion Chefs had a bit of a nail biter. TSI actually kind of ran that out in full strides, 3-1. Um, they're close games, but TSI just did really well. Um,
It was
the
basically
York
just whoever got Jinx won the game. I think was kind of the story of that series.
I disagree. Yorick is a menace to society and shouldn't exist inside the game. Um. So, anyways, TSI went on to play Infernia Esports. That happened Saturday night. Saturday
Saturday.
night.
Yep.
Saturday night. And if TSI definitely had Tom Kench Landcoops give him a run for the money, TSI gave Infernia a run for their money. It went all the way to 5 games, back and forth games. How did Infernia kind of close the distance to win out the series?
A big part of it was, I would say, the two main factors, not to get into like the deep details of the game, but especially from my perspective, Mr. Miyagi on the Sivir, that was a big pain point for us with the wave clear. We could win some fights, but couldn't get a lot done into the Sivir, and then in the top lane, Smokestacks, the Garen in game 4 and 5, were a big difference maker, as well as Phaser on Hecarim. Those two diving the back line. We just weren't able to. It was kind of the story of game 5, at least, was two dive comps, and Infernio was able to dive better than we were, and were able to take that game away. Even though I will shout out TSI Aguri in game 5 got a pentakill on Aguri, or on Ari.
Really?
He
Let's
did. Yeah.
go. We've had so few of those. I think that's only the second one, isn't it?
The third one, actually,
Third
Smokestacks
one.
on the flip side, not in the series, but during the regular season, got two pentakills. One on Darius and one
Two of them?
on Gwen.
Man, we need to crown him Pentakill. Well, we'll see. We'll see what he does. We'll see what we do when what he does when we get to semifinals and finals. One more, and I'll put that out in the Discord. Call him the Pentakill King. Gotta earn it though.
Yep. Yeah, but
Um,
that was a banger of a series. Like, shout out to Infernia, they were so good. Both teams put a lot of work into draft, and it felt like there was a lot of back and forth throughout, and their execution came out ahead of ours. So I remember heading into that draft, we had a plan, and they had a plan, and I feel like both of us kind of threw wrenches in them, and they were able to execute better. So shout out to them. And
yeah,
hopefully they can go forward, and as the not as the commissioner of the league, but as a member of TSI, I want the person that I lost to, and they got to win it all now.
yeah, they're definitely going for it. We got them lined up, depending on whoever wins out tonight. We'll probably have that semifinals match. Hopefully this weekend going down, and then we'll have a period to get all the hype together for finals. This is all upper division, lower division still has been raging on. We'll have to tackle them next week. Because the biggest thing that we're all here for, let's go to the All-Star uh announcement. So I think Brendan, you have who the team captains kind of nominated.
Those are so the nominees are for the MVP voting, which is going on right now. We can go through that afterwards, but I have so all the players were sent out a form to vote for the All-Pro teams, and kind of the way that it works is each player gets a first team and a second team vote for each role. Can't vote for members of your own team. Those get sent out to all the teams. I tally up the votes, and then basically, if you received a first team vote, that counted as 3 points. If you received a second team vote, that counted as 1 point, and you just count up how many points everybody got, and you get see who had the most. So I have written down in the notes there the percentage of the votes that they received. So if a player, like for example, got first team, and there's a percentage that I gave you that you can share with that they received that percentage of the votes, if that makes sense. So it's a little bit scuffed how I did it, because technically if you didn't receive, if you got a first team vote, the percentage share of the votes made it so that it looks like you missed out on getting the second team vote, but you got the first team vote. So take those numbers with a grain of salt. I don't think I have my data collection quite all lined up there, but there is a number that you can assign to it. So yeah.
Well, then you can go and flip over the scene, show this lineup as I'll just rally these off for us. So first
Wait.
team,
Do you want to go by? I think I have it by position and then
by
final
position.
team. So you want to start with top lane first?
Yeah, do you have individual ones?
Yes, I do.
Slides.
Yep.
Oh man, look at our commissioner. He put in so much work to make this look all nice and pretty for us.
Yeah. That being
So
said,
yeah,
I'm gonna throw up the first team All Pro top laner.
it
Received. You have the sheet up. If you can tell me the percentage share of the votes that this person got, and I'll go ahead and reveal it right now. So
46% of the votes for top lane. Running away with this one. Smokestacks for Infernia Esports is a bit of a legend. Not only the top laner, but the team captain for Infernia Esports, which a callback won the mid-season tournament among the three different leagues for slash all to be the superior league. So this guy popped off during that mid-season. The Gwen being one of his signature champions, 13-2 on it in one of these games. I love the statistics pile up here, and we'll see this a bit later with one specific player we got to put a spotlight on. But really, for Smokestacks, the thing to look at is first in the league, not in the league, but out of all the top laners, he is first when it comes to kills. He will solo kill you in lane. So that is our first team All Pro in top lane. Go over to Misery or Jungle. Oops,
that's all right.
I need to move these around.
I transitioned it. It worked out.
Okay, yeah, Misery 23 and Cruel is gonna be our All Pro jungler. 54% of the jungle votes going to this person. Everybody, out of all of them, he is second highest of the percentage. So everybody kind of was scared of this guy in the jungle. Again, some interesting stats here. Played in all of the games for Misery. The kill and assist ratio at 244. So not only was he getting himself a lead, he really made a big impact for Misery, getting those assists in and helping his team get a lead. We see that with the Kindred game, 14 assists on Kindred. Normally a champion, you want to be getting kills to yourself, but lots and lots of assists coming in from here.
Yeah, I guess if we want to go through what people are seeing on the screen here, so the stats are unique to what I feel are important to the role, and then the ranking are how those stack up against the other junglers in the league in this case. So out of all the junglers, the kills plus assists, Misery Cruel led that category. So that's what you're going to see with the rankings. That's just specific to the role, not to all players in the league. So yeah. And we move to mid lane.
Mid lane, 37% of the mid lane votes going to this one. This was a very close position, and I think we had 3 players for this one that were kind of neck and neck. But it was Odysseus running away with it for Goon Squad White. Really cool to see Goon Squad White get a little bit of a shout out here. And he really popped off when it came to putting DPS out for the team. He was a carry in a lot of games for the Goon Squad team, so he runs away with it in the mid lane. Signature champion. It his best game was on the Jace, but he was fearful of Swain. It was banned away from him in a lot of games. Just didn't let him get that signature champion. Going down to ADC, 55% of the votes. This guy getting the most votes out of anybody for the All Pro team. Misery Kush. And it's nuts. Brendan, tell me what the stats are here.
The stats here are first in all categories except for kill participation. A lot of that because I feel like Misery ran away with a lot of their games, and a lot of players were carries in their sense. But if you just look across the board, I mean, if I recall the stats correctly, you see like 118 kills there in 16 games. The second most was Arjester, I think at like 89. So you're looking at almost 30 kills more than the person behind him. Dishing out the most damage. A big part of ADC role is collecting all the resources on the map. Got the highest CS and gold per minute. So did a great job of collecting the resources and then converting that into damage and carrying his team to the first overall seed.
Yeah, this one definitely popping off the most first in everything. Kill participation is interesting. But either way, this misfortune was scary. Lastly, in the support role, 47% of the votes for the position. Conqueror of Bug coming out here. And this one's really, really nice. As deserved. The highest, like the support who got the most assist, first in assist for the role, of course, is our All Pro player. They deserve it. They were really flexible. It only shows the Rakan and Renata Glass up here, but they played Lulu. I think they played a game of Nautilus. They've been flexed around, point out a lot of different champions coming out from the Misery squads.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Yeah, I went
From
ahead and I should have done this earlier, but pulling up the stat sheet myself, one of talking about all the kills that Kush was able to get in the bot lane, I think another translation of that. Who was the creator of those? Who knows? But one thing I will say, Conqueror of Bug with 217 assists. That was what's the math here? 57 assists above the second highest member of this list. So second being um, Kaio from Infernia had 160 assists. Conqueror Bug was second or first with 217. So significantly higher assist totals. The vision as well is something that we prioritize for supports. I will say that some of that can be skewed sometimes because Misery's games did not go for very long. So you get
yeah, when you're getting 217 assists, there aren't people on the map to look at.
yeah. With that, I got a final snapshot of the whole team together. So this is going to be your Season 2 Upper Division First Team All-Pro. And kind of what this means is these guys will get, a special tag in the Discord channel, as well as we're going to have a show match. And we obviously the two top vote getters are going to be on this team. So the two people that receive the most votes and who will end up being the captains of the All Pro teams are going to be Kush and Cruel. So the two Misery guys are going to have to duke it out against each other. So they're going to be captaining the two teams and pick those for that show match.
Small note for any lower division players listening: this is who you're going up against, and in the lower division versus upper division. I don't envy you. Good luck. This is the best of the best, the cream of the crop. So if for any lower division player, this is the moment. This is who you're facing in your show matchup. Uh,
Go second
Go
team.
ahead. Yeah, second team. So when we come to finals and we're wrapping up the season, we'll have a lower division and upper division matchup, but we'll also have Brendan flipped it up there. Ajuka, 32% of the top votes coming out from Inferno Esports. Second All Pro, so he got the second most votes for the top lane position. And we were talking about it earlier. This guy, when he gets onto a carry top laner, will put the team on his back. Um, And then we can go on to the next one with 18% of the jungle votes from Tompkins Line Cooks, my home, Fish FRFX. I don't have to talk very much about this guy. If Tompkins Line Cooks were winning, it was because of Fish. He was constantly ganking. He was first when it came to damage from the jungle role, which isn't something you see very often because you're not constantly fighting somebody in a lane to ramp that damage up. He put out so much DPS for the team.
Yeah, that's that 21.5% damage percentage there was a full 2.5 points over the next highest. So significant when you talk about carry jungler. Fish is that you got facilitators, whether you got facilitators, proactive junglers, those types of things. Fish was a carry from the jungle as opposed to one of the facilitators. So definitely a different play style than some others.
And then getting 21% of the votes from mid lane, coming out from Infernia Esports, Kishmak. Um, this guy is a legend. He plays more champions in mid lane than I thought could ever go in mid lane. But also, really big thing. We were just talking about facilitators. 59.74% in kill participation. Um, that's a big number when you spread it across like 10, 12 games.
15 games. Exactly.
Oh, that's like on the page for me to look at. So even more, I mean, it just goes to show that, if the kill was happening on the map, Kishmak was there. And I love that it's showing the Ornn mid here is a great example of how, even though he might not be the one putting the DPS out, he's definitely facilitating plays and kills happening on the map. Moving down for second team, 31% of ADC votes. Give Kush a run for his money. R. Jester from Tompkins Line Cooks shows up here. Just talking about kill participation, 66% kill participation. Played a lot of Ashe and Jinx. So we got to see some wicked, nasty cross map ultimates come out from the ADC position, which was really entertaining. Um, so big player here. You have anything to share on here? This one?
Yeah, I mean, it was great to battle this guy out in the playoffs. Like I said, it came down to like whoever had Jinx won in that series. You disagreed, but that was a big PowerPoint in that series, and our Jester was one of those members that we had to scout for and play around. So, um, much respect for him.
Can I point something out?
Yeah.
In CS per minute, gold per minute, damage per minute, and damage percentage, Fish is second. And that's just because Kush is so Kush was first in everything. RJ was second in everything.
Yeah. Except for win
And
percentage.
well, that's just because of his support.
I know RJ good, so I can throw that out there, but yeah.
And but I think it's really cool. His
He's in the chat.
he's in chat. Damage percentage is impressive when you're playing against Fish. So like that is damage on top of the fact that his jungler is playing picks like Graves and Viego. Um, so just really had to fight to get the DPS out. Moving down to support role, 28% of support. I always say this player's name wrong, so help.
Oh, Kaio
Kyle.
or Kyo. I still don't know. He's told me like 3 times, so I feel bad. But
Oh,
he's the chronomist of season 2, so I apologize to. I think it's like Kaio.
Kyle.
I believe
I'm so
so.
sorry,
I
guys.
believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
But Kyle, 28% of the support votes coming out here with the second team All Pro. Was a different kind of support player than Conqueror of Bug was. Conqueror of Bug played to kind of open Kush up to be the hyper carry. Kyle put it in his hands to set up plays, get picks. I mean, the Blitzcrank, the Braum, the Thresh. He was playing champions to make something happen on the map. And we can see that in his kill participation in KDA. And of course, that win percentage, this is the team that is in our semifinals for Infernia. So we're very excited to see him come out and continue playing. So that wraps it up. That is our second team All Pro going to be going up against our show matchup. Do you have a screen that shows both of them? No.
Not both
I
of
mean,
them,
but
but one of them.
signature champions here.
Yep.
What a beautiful scene. Chat, spam me in chat. What you guys think about this? Who was your favorite player from these All Pro teams? Who did you absolutely despise because they crushed you in lane? Um, so let us know what your thoughts are in chat. And then um, that's our All Pro announcement. You have any input, Brendan?
Oh, shout out to everybody that um, RJ self-degrading himself, typical RJ. But no, that's our those are our two teams. Like shout out to all the teams and all the players, and everybody that voted as well and contributed to that. So definitely something where you can keep up the engagement in the league and make things a lot more fun when we have these all pro teams and competing for those, and we'll get to see those guys show out and do a bunch of fun stuff. So shout out to all the players and all the teams. That's just kind of a highlight. That's like us giving back to the players for playing in a season and having a ton of fun. Um, yeah. Congrats on
All
the
right.
people that were elected as the top 10 players in the league.
I was gonna say it's credit where credit is due. You know, you might not have been the winning team all the way up the bracket, but these people came out and played. Like as I was going through the list with you, like each one of them, I remember playing against them or casting them, and there were plays that stick out to me. Like I remember Ajukas Aatrox, I remember the Orn mid, I remember Odysseus just solo killing. Like so many moments of these excellent plays. You guys deserve the hype for being the 10 best players in this league, even if your team isn't the one that won it.
Yeah, I mean with that's kind of this is a special episode to highlight those players. So there's not too much more that we have because we honestly have to get our dinners in as we prepare for the match that's in a couple hours that we're super excited about. I guess a good question in the chat is when that show match is going to happen. So now that the teams have been decided and announced, I'll go ahead and make an announcement in the Discord as well with those graphics showing the two teams. We'll work with the players to get that match scheduled out whenever we can get the most people available. We'll try to get it before the finals. If we can't, we can't. But that's the goal. But yeah, we'll work with the players to get all that scheduled out.
That is all. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks to everybody who's played so far. And again, we're cutting it really short today because we got a game at 7:30. So come join us 7:30 Eastern, and the fun will continue in /all league.
Sure. Signing out.